Operating in spiritual gifts doesn't mean you have discernment. Operating in spiritual gifts doesn't mean you have discernment. Nope. If it was so, then Joseph should have known what all his dreams meant. The young prophet would have never died in the hands of the old prophet. Moses would have never missed the promised land. No, I'm not holding back. I'm literally telling you truth in the sight of God. Then the question remains, what is discernment? So before you can even ask what is discernment, you have to understand that discernment is a function of the spirit man. So you are not qualified to even talk about discernment until you start walking in the spirit. So what you need to learn is how to walk in the spirit, the laws of the spirit, in order for you to understand what discernment is, in order for you to be immersed in it by the Holy Spirit. So if you have never walked in the spirit, what are you talking about? What is discernment? You don't even know what it is. So how can you start talking or trying to use something you don't even know what it is? You have spent 99% of your life in the flesh, in the soul, even though your soul is being regenerated, even though your soul is being renewed. You haven't walked in discernment yet. You don't know. Listen to what Apostle Paul said. He said it this way. He said, if I sin, it is no longer I who is sinning, but it is what? But it is sin sinning in my flesh. How did he separate? How did he even think of that? What does that even mean? You see, this is what makes people think your body is bad, yet that's not what Paul was saying. When people hear Jesus said, you see people who post like this. Do you know what the prophets went through? The apostles went through. They were murdered. Isaiah was cut into half. This was done into this. And these people want to cope. Listen, we are not in the same dispensation. Being a martyr and not being a martyr doesn't make you a less Christian. There are people. Do you see, the problem is when we don't know the mind of God. We don't even understand God. Do you understand there were people who were sent on earth to be martyrs? They are going to die for the gospel. Not everybody was born to die for the gospel. No. The Bible tells you, I have sent some prophets among you so that you can kill them. Yes. We have been graced by God to be born whereby they are trying to suppress Christianity now more than ever, right? They are trying to do all these things. But if you go like somewhere in Sudan, I know in places in Sudan they were killing Christians, cutting their hands and stuff. There are places in Nigeria that Christians are being murdered, that's for sure. There are places people are being killed. But to die for Christ is also a calling. It's not for everyone. There were people who were born to be martyrs. Jesus was born knowing he's going to die. How was Samson going to kill all the Philistines at the same time? If he was not going to die in the process.